The $30,000 question. Do you go pre-owned Golf R or brand new GTI? So there's a lot of pros and cons to both. This is a 2016 Golf R with the adaptive chassis, 6-speed manual with about 18,000 miles. It's my personal car. And we have over here a brand new GTI 6-speed manual SE with the leather seating package. And this one's going for right around $32,500 MSRP. And I think a Golf R with this mileage and this condition will be going for roughly around the same price ish, you know. Could be a couple thousand less or more. I didn't really do my research on that. But yeah, so for that money, would you rather go used Golf R or brand new GTI? Now, as far as equipment levels, you get both the upgraded headlights on both models here. You have the LEDs on the brand new cars and the HIDs on the last gen with the aggressive looking daytime running lamps. As far as the appearance, the GTI has always been a little bit more of an aggressive looking package. The Golf R has always been more understated. But I do think that the last gen Golf R has such an understated aggressiveness to it, where it looks much more mature and grown up than the GTI. So then again, that is a personal preference where you are in your life. As far as stuff that the Golf R does not have, is going to be the larger infotainment screen, which we'll go inside in a second. The SE has a sunroof, as you can see, and you cannot get that on the Golf R. As far as horsepower, I know the Golf R was rated at 292, and this generation of GTI, I think it's up to 230 now. I'll have to double check my facts on that. I know it's 220 or 230. So there's still a good bit of difference in horsepower. Obviously the Golf R is going to be heavier because it does have the standard all-wheel drive, so that's another big pointer. How much snow driving you're going to be doing, what type of driver are you? If you're pretty competent, you can put some snow tires on a GTI and get through almost anything. If you just want sure-footedness, go with the 4MATIC or the 4Motion in the Golf R. Same size brakes now on both of these models. And as far as the appearance, again, the GTI is going to have all the red accents, the red brake calipers, the red badging, versus the Golf R has everything kind of black and silver. Now, they both have the exact same seats, just the GTI has, again, red stitching. You still get a manual parking brake in the GTI versus the Golf R is the electronic one. Steering wheel is exactly the same, just instead of aluminum trim, there's black trim in the Golf R. There's still no virtual cockpit offered on the GTI. You have to step up to a Golf R, brand new Golf R, but the 2016 will not have that, so that is exactly the same. And one big difference is this center screen here is a larger screen. I believe it's an inch larger. But besides that, besides some fancier looking graphics, it's the same, very similar system. Both offer Apple CarPlay, both have a USB port right there. The one thing missing from the SE GTI, which I found disappointing, I think it would be the perfect trim level if they offered the Fender audio system as an option, which they don't offer at all on the GTI SE trim. You have to go to the Autobahn. But you can now get the adaptive dampers on the SE trim, which is great. I just wish that they offered the Fender. They would be the perfect choice with the plaid seats. I think that would be the perfect spec GTI. They have these larger chrome exhaust tips now, which they have standard on the GTI. The standard LED taillights now versus the last gen was halogen. The Golf R would come standard with those halogens, but I have upgraded to the Euro spec dark tint LEDs. And again, you do have 235 19s on the Golf R as compared to the 225 18s on the GTI. So if you want a little bit more protection against potholes, the GTI is gonna better serve you there, but you can always look aftermarket for that. Let's check the inside of the Golf. So you can see the seats, very similar, just white stitching instead of the red. You have the Golf R symbols here on the seat. The last gen MK6 GTIs actually said GT on the seat, but they got rid of that. And you can see the black trim versus the silver, and then the last gen head unit, which is smaller, and the steering wheel, which has the black accents. You do get blue needles in the Golf R as well, and you still have that USB port, and the shifter has a little bit of a faux carbon fiber look to it. Both have standard backup cameras, and I believe that the SE spec GTI comes with the parking sensors as well. No, so it's just the backup camera on the SE versus the Golf R has the front and rear park sensors, which is standard on the Autobahn. So you have to go above that price point to get that on the GTI. Aluminum pedals in both. I'll just go through the drive modes real quick. To get the Golf R fender as well, so you can see the fender up there as well on the speaker trims versus on the SE GTI, they're just black. It's 8 speakers with a subwoofer in here versus 6 in there with no subwoofer. So I'm gonna go in the drive modes. So you have comfort, normal, and race. Individual, you'll have the adaptive dampers right here, which is not available on that particular GTI. And you'll have the adaptive, let's see here, front lighting. Actually, that car will have that. The adaptive cruise control, that car will not. And the engine and steering, that GTI will have, but the GTI will not have a comfort mode. It will only have normal and sport. Besides that, in here, everything is almost identical. Again, you will not have the adaptive cruise control buttons on that particular model. You would have to get a car with the adaptive driver assistance package. Let's step into the GTI now. You can see the shift knob resembles a golf ball, which is a pretty traditional Golf GTI thing now. You also notice that down here you do not have the dual zone climate control versus the Golf R comes standard with that, and the Autobahn GTI will have that feature. Again, if that's a big selling point. And you can see here the screen is a much larger screen, much higher resolution. Going to the mode button, you have Eco, which is the new comfort, normal, sport, and then in custom we have steering, and you can see that there's no comfort option. Drive system is going to be the throttle sensitivity, and that's a normal, sport, or eco. Front differential lock, that's going to be unique to the GTI. All of them now come standard with the performance pack, so you get the locking differential in the front versus the Golf R has a Haldex system with the open front and open rear differential, only the center is locking. So that's a unique benefit of the GTI. You can change how the front diff feels. The adaptive lighting, that's the same. You can change the sport sound, but as you can see, no adaptive chassis in this car. If it was my money, I enjoy new cars. I enjoy the fact that no one's driven them before, especially being a manual car. If I had a $30,000 budget, give or take a couple thousand, I would probably go with a GTI over the pre-owned Golf R. Just me being the way I am. But overall, I think that the 16 Golf R offers a lot more bang for your buck versus the brand new GTI. As you can see real quick, you do have the blind spot in the mirror, just like the Golf R has. So that is included on the SC package. If you guys have any comments or want to put your suggestions on what you guys would do between these two, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and look forward to more videos. Take care.